Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Carte. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got a different kind of project. I like to make Christmas ornaments, right, for the holiday season. But I was able to get several pairs of these where it has the two pieces and you put something and you put it together, blah, blah, blah. So I went through my stash and I have all these little mini things. So I'm going to see how I can create some cute little ornaments with my little mini scenes in each one. And I've got this faux snow, which is not like our that little almost like glitter like. So I'm going to use, I've got two sizes, a small and a large. I've got the bows to put at the top, and I'll make my hangers out of that. So let's see, this is all stash, right? So I just had these things sort of tucked away, waiting for the right time, and that time would be now. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to half put on like this one, right? I want to put it half on one and half on the other. Might not be able to get that. Might be in a large one, right? So I've got two sizes. So we have our bridge. So see how I'll put half on one side, half on the other. And then just sort of glue the little elements around. I've got look at all these little Christmas mice in the tree. So I've got different little ideas right out here, but my thought is that what I'll do is I'll glue one, half, and then come in and glue this half, and then put the pieces together. Before I do that, I want to put a little bit of snow, and then I'll put some glue on here to hold this. Some people I've seen put like ribbon around the seam. Don't know if I'll do that. We'll just have to kind of see, but just fun little things in here. Not sure. Oh yeah, see, those might only get one thing and then maybe a tree or something, right? Maybe bend this. Have to get creative, right? Probably wouldn't do that. That didn't look good. I want it to go the other way. So maybe just a little bit. So it kind of would set. That's kind of cute, right? Of course, it would come out a little bit. And then we'll put snow around the bottom. I've got some regular glue, some hot glue that I need to get warming up. But we'll just sort of see what we can come up with. I will use the smallest items first, right? Because these will need smaller items. So, like here, this has quite a few pieces, but you wouldn't really be able to use all of these pieces. There's a Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And then you'd want, like a tree. And then let it all sort of go together. With some snow in there. That would be cute. All right, let me get all of us prepped up, and then we will start creating our Christmas ornaments. All right, I went ahead and got a couple as I was trying to learn the process, right? So these don't fit together great, so I found myself having to glue that seam. And then you have the strings from the hot glue, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get that cleaned up. But I mean, it is cute. Look at that. It'll hang like that, but that's what you'll see. I'm using those little white styrofoam balls as like the background, and then bring a little to the front. It'll look something like that. That is that size. And then that is that size. I didn't put that on this globe like a background, but I did put some glitter in there. So, and it has a smaller bell that doesn't ring quite like these, right? They sound different, but still a cute little decoration on the inside. Okay, now that we've kind of got the method figured out, getting my glue gun to heat back up because I was just sort of assessing and cleaning, and so I want to get that hot again. I did off camera go ahead and use these two paints just to, because these were already green, so I just put this metallic on it because there were some chips, but that took care of all of that. Some of the caps, let me pull this up. Some of the caps were loose, so I got all the caps put on there. These are actually dry. So I've got all of our bells. Those will go in the larger globes, right? And they ring nice versus, you know, the other one. It's okay. It is just meant to be a cute little, probably gift topper or some kind of just ornament to give to somebody. That's where I think it might need a little something. You know, my elves. Okay, now I'm gonna load this up with my little balls. Now I'm going to go back one more time with some glue. See how I'm getting rid of my spare little foam balls, but I'm going to add some glitter in there just to give it a little something different. So I'm going to gently try to add some glue just in some spots. And then I'm going to go in, I'm going to let it run just a little bit so it gets into all those little nooks and crannies. Okay, and then I'm going to add some glitter. We'll let it go all over. And then I'm going to add some more balls. All right, let's see what we got. Alright. Don't want it to overdo my bottom, but it'll look something like that. And the Elmer's glue will dry clear. So now I want to, the first couple I put glue on these pieces and it was just a disaster. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get my ball together. Then I'm going to glue it from the outside and use my Washi tape to finish sealing it. And let's see. Alright, that's what we have so far. And now for the finishing touch. So then I have been feeding it through both holes on that top. And then giving myself a big old loop. All right. Come back here. See that? There. Pull our bow down just a little bit, and voila. There is our little globe ornament. I may knock this around, try to get some of it. I won't do the glue like I did this time, next time, because it all ended up clumping together but down there, but still looks cute. Okay. Another one down. All right, let's start the next one. Try to clean up. Put a little bit of tape on this. Got a little bit of glue in that hole, so I need to help it through the hole. So this has been an interesting project. I took split ornaments, meaning they were in two pieces. I hot glued some scenes, Christmas scenes, to the bottom, and then used this styrofoam little ball stuff and create a little winter scene inside my ornaments, almost like a globe. There we go. Pull that off. Will be the hanger. I found that once you did that right there, that little slip knot, put another knot on top, that sort of helped that to stay in place. So that's something we will take away from this project that'll help us in the future, right? I always like to even up the tails there. And then I had these in my stock, so they were just a nice little finish. I do want to even up these little tails, because then what I do is I create a curly Q on the back and then hot glue it in place. Take my little jewelry pliers here and basically just give it some little twist here. There we go. And I'm just trying to, so there won't be any weight or anything like that on it, but just to create like a little wire knot there in the back. And then I put just a tiniest little dot of hot glue back here and then on top of my knot, just to hold it in place. And this is what our little park scene, maybe it could be. It has the hanger here. I've got a little bell in there. So there we go. How about that? See, there's a lot of static clean to a little static to these balls, so that'll fall down nicely. All right, so let's see what we got. I do need to put that away because those like to flutter everywhere. Those are my leftover bits. So we made a dozen. So we have this one. It's our little elves. Did a couple camper scenes. Campers seem to be popular. And then the red truck. And then the postman at the mailbox. And Santa, he's fallen with his sack of gifts. His bag of toys. Another red truck. Those are super cute. I do like those red trucks. And here is a snow scene. Someone bobsledding, someone throwing snowballs. Our 3 Christmas mice. And here is Mr. and Mrs. Claus around the tree. And here's some more elves. Put that one on that little bridge, so I thought that turned out kind of cute. This was the very first one, so I didn't really do the back, but I still like it. So, Mr. and Mrs. Claus with the tree, and then before I started with the raffia, I was using Washi tape to make my little bows. So there's all kinds of ways you can do this, but the bottom line is I created the scene on the inside, and then I then added the white styrofoam. This one's still wet, so you can see I've got some glue back here. So I've hot glued the main pieces in there, and then used just Elmer's glue. You can see all that static, but that's okay. That just kind of makes it fun. And then once I put it together, I did find that I started putting glue on the seams of my ornaments. And then what I did is I covered that seam with Washi tape. I had some real pretty, I've got this glitter, and then I have some that says no peeking, right? And then Merry Christmas and some poinsettia Washi tape. I put the bells on the inside, and we did have to go and freshen up our bells. We had a few little chips, but you can't tell it now. And some of the little toppers had come loose. Got those all put back on there. And then I had these little glitter bows. We'll back up. We had this baker twine, red, white, and green baker twine that I used for the hangers for all of them. And then I have the little glitter bows. So they just are a nice overall little gift to give, right? And each one's a little different, similar but different. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up, and then I'll bring you in, and I'll try to find a way to get you some close-ups. How about that? Wow, it took longer than I thought, but I'm really pleased with how they turned out. I even did a boho bow for this one. All right, just to see. I like the glitter better, but you don't know till you try. All right, y'all, until next time.